if necessary. She's a scoring point guard, and I think that she is a X factor for the Bruins. And now when you look at the Connecticut Huskies, they have Paige Beckers, and we all know how great she is. But did you see how Sarah Strong played in that Elite 8 game? 22 points, 4 of 6 from the three-point line, and she's playing the post for the Huskies. So I think Sarah Strong is key because she will have to be defended by the post of UCLA. They can pull the bigs out of the paint and leave some driving lanes.
Yeah, Strong is a rookie playing like a vet out there in this tournament. Strong is the first UConn freshman in the last 25 years with 3 double-doubles in a single NCAA tournament. She has a lot of talent out there on the floor. Carolyn, thanks so much for the insight. And of course, English, God bless.
Still the Highland Sports Center. We're going to head back to San Antonio. Auburn will step up Saturday. Our game day returns to break it all down. Plus Curry and Jokic going head-to-head tonight. But are they the biggest threat to the Rockets' hold of the 2 seed? What Danny Green says Houston has them right where they want them. And he's a hat trick away from breaking one of hockey's biggest records. We're going to head live to Washington, D.C. on the move ahead of Alex Ovechkin's final push. And we're not done in Colorado. Louis Riddick and Theo Gates waiting for Shooter Sanders and Travis Hunter to take the field. Colorado Medical Showcase. We're going to head out. We're going to head out.
Still on their feet. And this version of the galaxy is an immortal as well. And Major League Soccer is a third game in the galaxy. Right on top. Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid, the McKellen Blue won Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a 0% APR on a 2024 Prologue.
It's a robotic money expert.
Clever. How do I start a savings habit?
Famous cabbage.
Savings habit.
Shaving rabbits.
Tech can make life simple, but when it comes to savings habits, nothing's as simple as BMO. A BMO savings account helps you build a habit with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward. Genius.
Sardine Fest.
This year's top prize goes to BMO.
I'm just in it for the saving.
It's nice to be recognized.
BMO. Second chicken meal. But now it's caliente.
here for a limited time.
That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shut down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune. Easy for championship, midnight for championship. Understand? Not easy. And you will make history. Why is it bringing the top down? Where's Antonio? It's still dancing. Let's go.
The men's Final Four is set. Florida taking on Auburn. Houston taking on Duke. All heavy hitters, and we have all heavy hitters on site down in San Antonio as well.
Yeah, they're coming up later right now. We're going to get back down to these days. Guys.
Okay, Jay Harris, who's sitting in Bristol in the middle of Friday afternoon. It's great to be in San Antonio. What a Final Four we're going to have here. Florida and Auburn rematch for the regular season game. A 7-game in which Florida went into Auburn, won the game. What do you anticipate the rematch?
And watching the game back, one thing I kind of like jumped out at me is the shot selection for Auburn, shot selection, ball security. You don't take care of the basketball, you take bad shots, you're going to get them transition. And Walter Clayton, he was the recipient of a lot of those transition baskets. So taking care of the basketball and shot selection to me will be the key for Auburn.
I think it's going to be about the attention to detail of Walter Clinton and how they defend him. Now allowing him to have space. There's so many times watching the course of the games where he gets lost in the offense and it leads to momentum threes that he's able to hit. I think for Auburn, have attention to detail, press up on him early to get the ball out of his hands, force other players to make plays, will ultimately determine whether Auburn can win the game or not.
And Auburn's defensive strategy, I don't think is going to change that much from what they normally do. I mean, they want to force you into tough twos, make it difficult for you to get 3-point shots, and they do a lot of switching. And they like to switch because they think they perform better body on body for an entire 40 minutes. And usually that works in their favor. But I agree with you. I think it's an extra possession game. You know, turnovers, offensive rebounds. These are two of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. Tonight, Brew has been getting second shots left and right in this NCAA tournament. That's what Florida's done all year long. Florida's the best offensive rebounding team of these four.
Tonight, Brew is like the old school guys like me and Jay Harris, like the Willis Reed of college basketball. We saw him take that nasty looking dunk against Michigan State. He's done. He comes back out. He's knocking in threes. He's grabbing one-arm rebounds. What's the significance of him being supposed to full health and being able to play this moment?
Well, it's not ideal for Auburn because they're going against a really big, physical, deep front line in Florida. You know, one thing that Florida's big guys do, they got 4 of them that they can cycle in and out of there. They're very, very skilled. They're excellent passers. They aren't big and physical, but they screen off help really well. And whenever there's a drive, they'll screen off a help defender, a shot blocker, from getting to the rim and really causing a problem on that drive. And I think if you're Auburn, you have to play on the top side of those guys. You get behind them, it's over. They will screen you off. I think that the game is going to be, like this offensive rebounding battle, I think is going to be the key to the game because these defenses, you're going to be missing some shots. And if you get some second ones, those are high percentage looks, and both of them kick it out for open threes off offensive rebound.
I think John Brooks got to be more aggressive. He's got to be efficient. He's still afraid against Condon in the last game. Early on, they got to play for John. He's got to get touches. He's either going to either play out of a double team or he's got to score. Like, he cannot be passive. He's got to take the ball right to the shot blockers. The length of Condon bothered him, especially when he sat on his right shoulder. He's got to find a way to either face up and go or make a quick move to the middle of the floor and work his way back to his right shoulder.
I do feel like Janai Berger's the best player in the country. We can't jump over a quarter. It's really unbelievable to watch happen in real time, RD. But I think angles of attack are critical for him, right? I think against the more athletic bigs, ball fakes, head fakes, getting them foul trouble, getting to the free throw line, seeing the ball go in. Also, Dylan Cardwell, this is a game where I feel like he can thrive. His athleticism could get it done on the defensive end as well.
It doesn't matter. Cards win championships.
Keep trying to tell you.
Told us that. Big guys
That's
don't
why he
win.
goes back to Congo.
He's going to win the game.
You know, so much of the talk from the last few weeks, Florida playing better than anybody in the country coming into the tournament. Oh, look out. Duke maybe is the most talented team in the country. But there's only one team that only had to bring the home jerseys. That's all. Number one seed in this tournament trying to bring home their first national championship.
All right, thanks so much, guys, for rep between all four of them out there. Our betting analyst Aaron Dolan is here in studio. Aaron, looking at that men's Final Four, what are you liking for that Florida Auburn game? I'm going to isolate this to Florida's team total and go under 81.5 points. Yes, I'm well aware they hit over this mark in 3 or 4 tournament games, but they have not faced a defense like Auburn's. And Auburn's been one of the best so far in this tournament. They're holding up for 66 points per game. They also scored an 88.5 defensive rating. Now, of course, I know how great Florida is. They're number one seed for a reason. That offense has been great. When you're going to go against a defense like this in Auburn, in a game that I think can go either way, seeing a total of 159.5, I just think this number is too high in this particular matchup to go under 81.5 total points for Florida. Yeah, great offense with Florida going up against great defense with Auburn. Excited to see how that one moves down. Now, give us your bet for Houston taking on Duke. Taking the points with Houston plus 5.5. And yes, I know the line is moving in favor of Duke, which isn't too surprising. They're favored to win the entire thing, but I have Houston actually going on to win it all. Houston is relentless. They are tough. They are physical. They sport the best defense right now of any teams remaining, the best in the country for what it's worth. Now, of course, Duke is a really good team. I don't think we really need to get into that. I just think, of course, knowing they can get 5.5 points in this game, 5.5 with how good this defense is going to be and trying to slow that down. LJ Cryer has also been great as well. So I'm going to take the points with Houston this one plus 5.5. Houston winning your bracket. Look at that. Big Houston fans. Wow. I feel like I know some people who have Houston here. I know. Like I always say, a lot of heavy hitters in this NCAA tournament right now. Aaron Dolan with the latest. Thanks so much.
All right, it's almost time. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter taking the field at Colorado's NFL Showcase. Lewis Riddick, Felix Yates standing by. After the break, more back.
Subway's got a new meal of the day with a deal on a different sub every day of the week. Fresh baked bread, fresh sliced meat, fresh chopped veggies, vinaigrette, plus chips and drink. You got the perfect lunch, the perfect price. Your coworker went with the $17 salad. Get it together, Stan. Find your fresh, the all-new $6.99 meal of the day at Subway. Or make it a footlong for just $3 more.
Welcome, wanderers. Here we wield the cosmic power of my days. Prepare yourself for a heavenly course of citrus whispers. Let the haze guide you as you journey through these realms. For you're not just drinking a beer trial, you're opening your mind to infinite wonder. Let your mind wander. My taste.
It's a robotic money expert.
Summer, how do I start a savings habit?
Famous cabbage.
Savings habit.
Shaving rabbits.
Tech can make life simpler, but when it comes to savings habits, nothing's as simple as BMO. A BMO savings account helps you build a habit with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward. Genius.
Sardine fest.
This year's top prize goes to BMO.
I'm just in it for the saving. It's nice to be recognized.
BMO.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Hummer.
time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric motor or a hybrid, the McKellen Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a 0% APR on 2024 Prologue.
That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shut down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune.
I guess I'm not the easiest person to please. I like things just right. That's why I love Redfin. They show me homes that are perfect for me. Not too big, not too small.
Yeah.
It's like family. I mean, the Bears love having me here. They're like family. I know it sucks, but it's time for me to spread my wings and find a place of my own. Ooh, this one's just right. I know baby bear will miss me. You know Signorama is your local sign shop. We are. Our neighborhoods have small businesses, schools, and stadiums, and they all need signs. We have the solution when our neighbors need local graphics, monument signs, and even huge channel letter signs for their storefront. We're here for all signage needs, from concept to fabrication and installation. Sometimes we bring out the big guns. Signorama for all your signs. Track the latest upsets and bet on your favorite teams at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with Google Code Sports today. Bye.
I'm here to spend Jay Harris.
I'm off to work.
And the best in the NBA's West in action
Bye,
tonight.
Ronnie.
Playoffs less than 2 weeks away. We got the Thunder and Rockets, the top two in the West, meeting for a fifth time this season. The country meeting in the in-season tournament. OKC has won 11 in a row overall, and both teams ranked top 5 in scoring defense. Nuggets and Warriors up next with just a game and a half separating them in the standings. Golden State is 19-2 with Butler and Curry in the lineup. The Nuggets are 8-9 in March and have lost 2 in a row. Lakers back in action after last night's loss to the Warriors, taking on the Pelicans, who already have shut down Zion Williamson and CJ McCollum for the season. Lakers are 7-5 this season in the second game of a back-to-back. On the top 8 in the West, looking like this with 5 or 6 games remaining. 6 teams separated by 2.5 games. The top 6 avoid the play-in tournament. Lakers could be in trouble. They have 2 more meetings with the top-seeded Thunder in Oklahoma City. Pleased to be joined by NBA analyst and 3-time NBA champ Danny Green. Danny, we know the Thunder have been the best in the West this season, but it's a tight race elsewhere in the West with just 6 games remaining in the regular season. If I say to you the Rockets control the 2 seed, you say to me what?
I say deservingly so, because they are very good. I mean, after watching the games last night, I might have changed my mind a little bit. Those teams look good, but no, this team is really good. They have the pieces. Defensively, they're amazing. They've been all over for. They have the size. They have the youth. So I really like them at the 2 seed. And they could be the team to test OKC. You know, Amin Thompson, for me, is the X factor. How his reactions, his defense is, you know, how he runs to push the break, start the offense, get to the rim. Even though he doesn't shoot it as well, he still finds a way to get points. He's done 20-point triple doubles. So I like what he can bring to the table, and I think he's the key for them as far as they go.
All right, we get the 3-seed Nuggets visiting the Warriors tonight. Which of these 2 teams, if fully healthy, in your opinion, present a bigger threat to OKC?
See, once again, after last night, I want to give the Warriors a lot of flowers because they're very good. They played well, but I'm going to give the nod to the Nuggets. I just think when they have Jamal Murray healthy and playing his best basketball, NBA MPJ playing well, Aaron Gordon, and of course Jokic, the best player in the world, they're really hard to beat. You know, they can go on a run, they go on a tear, and they're one of the teams that can make a really good run deep in the postseason. But they have to be healthy. They have to have those guys playing the best basketball, and you know they have to show up. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But I like what the Nuggets have when they're fully healthy and playing their best basketball.
West is fun, man. This is going to be a good watch. Down to the
It's going to be interesting.
Manny Green, thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Switching gears back to the Gridiron, the Colorado Showcase is underway. Phil Davidson was really standing by. Sure, Sanders showing off that arm.
Lamina, thank you, and Jay as well. Here, Field Gates and Lewis Riddick at the 8 Hard to Find Showcase here in Boulder, Colorado. With Lewis, we're going to see Shore Sanders over here in just a couple minutes, but before we see him on the field, we have seen quite an atmosphere out here. Really unlike any pro day that I've ever been to in my lifetime.
Look, this is the quintessential Deion Sanders production. Okay, this isn't just your regular pro day. This is kind of like announced to the world the standard at which he is trying to operate things out here in Boulder, Colorado, from a holistic perspective. He's trying to turn this into a big-time program. He wants the NFL to know that he is producing big-time players here, you know, beginning with his son, Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter this year, and that it's going to continue. And I would not bet against it.
Same here. I think we'll be back here in future years. Shedeur Sanders essentially throws just a couple of minutes here. There is someone, at least one person from all 32 NFL teams present, boots on the ground for this workout, which has already featured the 40-yard dash, the broad, the vertical jump, and some of the work in the weight room as well. We also, at least from my experience, have seen another first, which is a team owner in a pro day. The Cleveland Browns, they have, the mayor of Cleveland might be here, but Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the team, is definitely here. Safe to say the team at the top of the board are well represented.
Yeah, for sure. Look, when you're making this kind of investment, like obviously you want to try and minimize risk as much as possible. One of the ways to do that is, like I've said all along, I've really said this in the past couple of years in particular when we're talking about the quarterbacks. Film can lie to you, or at the very least not tell you the whole story. You need to put your eyes on these guys personally, up close and personal. And with quarterbacks in particular, that gives you such an advantage because to really see the ball come out of their hands very quickly and how it really looks. And Jimmy Haslam's going to get a first-hand look at that here today.
It's been over 3 months since we have seen Shedeur Sanders throwing football. Back to you guys, give Bristol more coverage of Colorado Pro Day. We'll hold on just a few moments.
All right, thanks so much, guys. A lot of action happening out there in Boulder. It looks a little exciting. I mean, Phil and Lewis down there hanging out. We hanging here in Bristol.
Colorado, and I'm going to do the San Antonio. Come on back. Who's going to cross? See you.
I don't really like committing to things. I'm scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Do you hear me now?
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can ride and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, proud partner of Angels Baseball.
The best new cars. Honda. Make the best pre-owned cars.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Get the best value with Honda certified pre-owned vehicles. Get 7-year 100,000-mile warranty and first-year oil changes on us. Plus, every certified pre-owned Honda goes through a 182-point inspection and is reconditioned like new by factory-trained technicians with genuine parts. Search your local Honda dealer today.
All right, you gotta move.
in Houston. From the end zone, here comes
Hey man, let me say something to you, dog. Because I can imagine people get frustrated as fuck playing. But I think it's a pretty crazy strategy. Like, I like what you're doing, in a way. You know what I'm saying? I like the thought process. You know what I'm saying? You're like, motherfucker, you only gonna have 30 seconds the first time you see the ball. Like, I can't be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm playing you, but I'm like, God damn, that's crazy. Now, I've never seen anybody do it like you did it. But I have had a guy do what you did. Like, just take up the whole half and shit. It's like, what the fuck, bro? That shit's crazy. You ain't trying to score. Trying to take up more time and shit. This motherfucker. I saw that corny shit too. This motherfucker's like, you are not gonna see the ball. I ain't mad at you. I am not mad at you. I have to be honest with you, that's like a skill, honestly. You know what I mean? To be able to, well, I mean, you did that corny shit with the whole, do the, like, try to make the drive longer. I saw that immediately. I'm like, this motherfucker's stuff is sick. He just want to take up the time. Hey man, I don't know, man. Hey bro, if you win a lot of games like that, I'm impressed. I am thoroughly impressed. Get the fuck out of here. Hey man, you a funny motherfucker. AC Rose. You fucking clown. Fuck out of here, you fucking assholes. Hey, you be madder than a motherfucker if I take off on you. That fool will be madder than a motherfucker. Like, what the fuck? This fool took off. Hey man, that's a funny ass strategy, bro. I ain't mad at you. That shit ain't gonna work. Second half. I'm not gonna do what you did though. Told you, cornball motherfucker. Hey, I never go for two. I'm gonna do it right now just cause you stupid. Oh, that's funny as hell, bro. Don't you feel like a fucking dumbass? Oh, fucking stupid. I never go for two, bro. Oh, there you go. You can have that. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you fucking bum. Hey, you gonna feel stupid when I beat you. I wonder how people beat you, though. You know what I'm saying? I wonder, like, how the average motherfucker beat you. I can't wait to see your record and shit. I think I played you on 19. Fuck is this clown doing? You finna fuck up right now. Watch this. Watch this. None of that works. Give me that. Hey, you think I ain't see what the fuck you think you thinking, but guess what, motherfucker? I'm back here. Cornball, motherfucker. You can't take off on me like that, fool. You got me fucked up, homie. Yeah, nobody's open. I'll run back and get your ass. Motherfucker, knock your head off. Yeah, run your ass out there again. This cornball motherfucker. What you gonna onside kick, you dummy? This fool's like, I want the ball back. I want the ball back. This is my strategy. And beat your ass with that corny shit. Beat your ass with that corny shit. Hey man, I'm not mad at you, bro. Honestly, with your corny ass strategy and shit. Because I see what it is. You're like, man, I suck my defense. I gotta hold the ball. I suck on defense. I gotta hold the ball. Let's see what the score is gonna be. 13-8. Fuck it. Hey, what happens if you hold the ball all the way to the end of the game, but you don't score? You know what I mean? Hey, I got a feeling some bad shit finna happen this whole quarter for you, bro. Like somebody finna fumble, some dumb shit finna happen for you, bro. Trust me. Look at this motherfucker. Go down! That's what I thought, you son of a bitch. I'll break your neck. Yeah, let's go, baby. We're gonna try to hold the ball the whole time. Hey, that shit ain't gonna help you at all. Hell no, motherfucker. Hell no. Hell no. You ain't holding the ball this quarter, motherfucker. All that shit's dead, homie. Oh, wait a minute. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Get back over there. Oh, hell no. Give me that. Scary ass motherfucker. This motherfucker's like, no, I just want to waste the time. It's an algorithm. Oh man, it's fucking nerd. Fuck out of here, nerd. That corny shit. Not today. Motherfucker. Pull the ball out. It's corny ass. It's gonna waste your motherfucker, break his neck, pull the ball out, something. Do something. Do something. This motherfucker's over here being disrespectful, trying to pick up all the time. Hey, a field goal ain't gonna help. This ain't part of the algorithm right here. This ain't part of the algorithm. Ooh. Ooh. Hell no, motherfucker. Hell no. Oh shit. Put that fool, knock the ball out. Something. Damn. Don't let this motherfucker get the first down, you sons of bitches. Yeah, let's go, motherfucker. Thank you, motherfucker, son of a bitch. You know who the fuck you fucking with? Bum ass motherfucker. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That gay ass strategy. I'm gonna just hold the ball. Right here. Yeah, nigga. You know who the fuck you fucking with? Fucking bum ass motherfucker. Ain't even that good. telling you a story that interrupt me because I need to think. Hey, you better hope that shit on the system. You better hope that. Bad shit, man. And life is good. Okay, I knew you were not. That was wrong with the guy. Hey, I'm used to it. I live in the White House. So, I still hate traveling in the White House. I like traveling in the cold. So I like it. But this is, you look like you wasn't up. Yeah, in your mind, hey, in your mind, you thought that you get there, you know, you do that shit. Now that shit pretty much shit out of there. Now let me stop. Go forward and so too, right? And I'm telling them the whole time, I'm telling them the whole time, there, so I said, I blame you, but I really kind of can't be mad at you. And that's what happened. I got the ball with 32 seconds left, right? And I said to him right when I got the ball, I said, man, if you grab this motherfucker, I'll take off. That's what happened. Hey, wait, you 78 yards, right? With 14 seconds left, bro. Listen. So then, I'm thinking I get the ball, but I did, right? So I kicked the ball, right? I bet man shit, right? At some point, I told him, I said, I understand you gotta go out of this. And you know, I got this nigga 4th and 1. I said, this ain't part of the algorithm. Hey, listen to me, man. I fucked around and kicked that nigga. And he quit. Fuck, I'm talking about. Fuck, I'm talking about. Bro, we are known for goal line games. That's how we get down. Hey, it ain't 20 seconds. Matter of fact, I'm on my way to number 1. You can get it right. Say what? I'm telling you, bro. I'm at 37 right now. I took the night off. Yeah, like that. I'm plugged in for today. You the second game I done played today. Who the hell?
After they just gave up a score.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 46 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety and being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Here's a give up the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes, so when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and handle it a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Here's a second down and 7 from the 37. Now a handoff running through the middle. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. He finds his way into the secondary again on this drive. They might want to try getting him down a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what do they call that? Third level run, first level being the D-line, and linebacker second level in the secondary, the third. When you block it up well and you make the secondary do all the tackling, that will wear on a defense.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Rico Dowdle, 24 yards. And the Cowboys have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the third. It took them a little while, but they are on the board here in this third quarter, and now with a chance to tie this up.
And it gives them a chance to exhale just a little bit, right? Because most of the time, if your first points come in the second half, you're often hopelessly out of the game, but not in this case. Now they have something to build on and a chance to mount a comeback.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Play action. Here's Stroud. They'll let this go deep for Collins. And it's intercepted. Breaks through the contact. And some room to roam now. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. But just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. Second and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on third down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Cowboys on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And his kick is indeed good. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 54 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense? What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Going deep for Diggs. This is caught inside the 15. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now Joe Mixon, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line.
Some good, strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
A big play looming on 3rd down. This is Mixon. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Here it is, 4th and inches. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now 1st and goal. Mixon trying to punch it in. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now 2nd down and a few inches. Here's a run with Mixon. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
Well, that is the definition, Charles, of delivering under pressure. The game-winning potential. There's still a little time left on the clock, but the potential game-winning drive, and it was well executed.
I think we're going to remember this possession for a long time. We've called a bunch of games, but how about how they got it done down the stretch? Absolutely terrific. Barring some type of miraculous play in this last half minute, I think that touchdown just earned them the win. They really came up clutch when they needed it.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Dak. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that not what they wanted. They lose yards on first down. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Here comes second down. To throw, Prescott. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
Here's Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on fourth down.
Well, you were at the point where you had to take the shot no matter the down. Now it's fourth down coming up, but that may turn out to be irrelevant with how little time is remaining.
Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. And incomplete on the deep ball. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And his kick here is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.
public commentary and explanation. I think the way to look at that is kind of a false choice in the sense of you're going to break the global economic system as it's existed over the course of 4 or 5 decades. I don't know that there is necessarily the right way to do that. And I think when you hear administration officials acknowledge it's going to be some pain, it's going to be some disruptions, it's going to take a little bit of time, that is an acknowledgement of that reality. Right now, they're not trying to move off this plan. They still very much believe in what they're doing and fought through it over the course of several years before getting to this point. Is how do you tell the market stat what message you need to send? And I don't know if there's been a great answer to that.
Market stat 2,231 points just today. Bill Manning, thanks so much. Canada slamming the United States because the president comes widespread tariffs with Canadian foreign minister saying that the relationship with the United States will quote, never be the same. This comes on the heels of Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney almost mourning. He sounded doleful about the U.S.-Canadian relationship.
The system of global trade anchored on the United States that Canada has relied on since the end of the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, has helped to deliver prosperity for our country for decades, is over.
As a response today, Canada enacted reciprocal tariffs against the U.S., enacting a 25% tariff on cars and car parts. With me now to discuss is the Canadian ambassador to the United States, Kirsten Hillman. Ambassador Hillman, it's always good to have you here. A few weeks ago, your country was ready to shut off electricity to some American cities, but instead Canada chose to enact tariffs on cars. Can you walk us through the decision-making, why you did this as opposed to something that might have been more shocking, more consequential, like turning off the lights?
Thanks, Jacob, and thanks for having me. I think it's important for us to approach this moment in time in a way that shows Canada and Canadians and the Americans that we are going to stand up for Canadians, but at the same time, it's important for us not to escalate to a point where we don't find ourselves able to have an on-ramp or conversation with the White House. And so what we did yesterday was we mirrored the U.S. tariffs on automobiles in the deeply integrated auto sector with a few exceptions. So we actually aren't putting tariffs on parts because we import a lot of American parts from West Virginia, from Michigan, all over the place, and we want those relationships to continue. So we are putting the tariffs on automobiles imports, and we are also not putting the tariffs on any Mexican components in those automobiles because Mexico hasn't tariffed us. We are in the USMCA partnership, and we want to make sure that we are not, inadvertently hurting our Mexican partners as well.
Do you think your country is, how much is it factoring into your actions, the degree to which Canada actually made out better than some other countries when you look at what President Trump brought to the fore?
Well, yes, it's true that on Wednesday we didn't get any new tariffs, but let's not forget the August tariffs came into place, the parts tariffs are coming in, we have tariffs on steel, we have tariffs on aluminum products, and it's having a consequence. We used to have 99% tariff-free trade a couple of months ago. Now a big portion of the trade between our two countries are under tariffs, and we're seeing it. Stellantis shuttered a plant, suspended operations. 900 Americans lost jobs because of that, and many more in Canada. So these are real-world consequences to these actions. And again, what we are looking forward to and hoping we will see soon is a comprehensive discussion around the Canada-U.S. trading relationship, which is changing. It's clearly changing.
Is there a scenario in which Canada would negotiate with President Trump to lower tariffs?
So we, again, under USMCA, 99% tariff-free. We have a tariff-free.
USMCA, we should know, that's the new NAFTA, the new trade agreement between Canada, the United States, and Mexico, which was President Trump's achievement.
Absolutely. And an important modernization of NAFTA. But now we're facing a sort of a different objective. The president has a transformational objective for trading relationships between the United States and trading partners. As he is implementing that transformational agenda, the relationship that we have with the country, our economic and trade relationship, will transform. So those rules will have to, presumably change along with it. We're looking forward to having that conversation. We're in an election period right now in Canada, so that more comprehensive conversation, which the president said he wants, will happen after our election.
And this just in, CNN's Kayla Tausch just reported that a source says President Trump is in touch with representatives from Vietnam, from India, from Israel to negotiate trade deals that could alleviate those tariffs in advance of the deadline next week. Do Do you have any idea if there's going to be any such discussion with Canada, any plans to have those conversations?
Well, so the tariffs that were imposed yesterday, these reciprocal tariffs, they don't apply to Canada, they don't apply to Mexico.
Right.
So we're not in a position to be working towards those discussions. We have had a discussion with the president around starting a comprehensive conversation post the Canadian election with whoever is running our, is leading our country at the time. We look forward to that. And in the meantime, we would urge more restraint. A lot of Canadians and Americans are going to lose their jobs, and that is not what we want to see happen. We'd like to see if there is a rethinking of the way in which our relationship is going to happen in the trade space, which clearly that's what the president wants, then we'd like to see in a way that minimizes harm to workers in the United States and in Canada.
All right, Ambassador Hillman, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today. To start, warning from JP Morgan about Trump's tariffs, quote, "There will be blood," unquote. Company now warning of an even higher chance of a global recession this year, and the chief economist is going to join us to explain why they feel that way. That's next. Plus, the leader of one of the United States' most powerful spy agencies has been shown the door and kicked out of his job. What we're learning about why he was fired and the individual who might be responsible. Stay with us.
She's a woman who prosecutors say pretended to be a wealthy German heiress.
It doesn't sound like you really regret what you did. It wasn't the victim's crime, right? I mean, you took a hand to be.
United States of Scandal with Jake Tapper, Sunday at 9 on CNN.
Since starting the farmer's dog, Bogart has lost so much weight, and he has so much more energy. It's like a puppy again. Mama! This is a before picture of Bogart. Such a big boy. Pre-portion packs. Makes it really easy to keep him lean and healthy. And look at him now. He's like a show dog.
Look, if you give Daddy a break here, he's having a hard enough time.
If you have generalized myasthenia gravis, picture what life could look like with Vyvgart Hytrulo, a subcutaneous injection that takes about 30 to 90 seconds. For one thing, could it mean more time for you? Vyvgart Hytrulo can improve daily abilities and reduce muscle weakness with a treatment plan that's personalized to you. Do not use Vyvgart Hytrulo if you have a serious allergy to any of its ingredients. It can cause serious allergic reactions like trouble breathing and decrease in blood pressure, leading to fainting and allergic reactions such as rashes, swelling under the skin, shortness of breath, and hives. The most common side effects are respiratory and urinary tract infections, headache, and injection site reactions. It may increase the risk of infusion-related reactions and infection. Tell your doctor if you have a history of infections or symptoms of an infection. Talk to your neurologist about Vyvgart Hytrulo for GMG and picture your life in motion.
If you're living with dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy, or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to slow down. Ask your doctor about Izervay. Izervay is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression, which may help preserve vision longer. So shift gears and get going. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin night and day. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now, I have Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some taking Rinvoq felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days, and some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. Many saw clear or almost clear skin.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers include lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. See the event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events. Infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection. Learn how Advie can help you save. Closed captioning brought to you by Mesobook.com. If you or a loved one have mesothelioma, we'll send you a free book to answer questions you may have. Call now and we'll come to you. 808-214-4000.
And we're back with more on the breaking news in our Money League. A massive stock sell-off around the world today, including in the United States. The result of President Trump's tariffs. JP Morgan took the rather dramatic step yesterday of updating their assessment of the chances of a global recession. It went from 40% to 60%. That means it's more likely than not, in JP Morgan's view, that the United States will experience a recession this year. A screenshot from JP Morgan's memo yesterday shows the headline, quote, "There will be blood." With me now to discuss is the managing director and head of economic research for JP Morgan, Bruce Kasman. Bruce, thanks for joining us. So what led you to take this dramatic step to revise the chances of recession to 60%?
I think there are three things here. And let me say first off that I think the economy is actually doing reasonably well as we move through the first quarter. I think something you see in today's employment report. However, first and foremost, what we saw with Liberation Day was an extremely large tariff increase. And we should understand that a tariff increase is a tax on U.S. households and businesses. The roughly 22% cumulative tariff increase we see would be the largest U.S. tax hike we've had since 1968. It's a big hit to the economy in a direct sense. The second thing is the design of the tariff was not meant to tactically go against unfair practices abroad. It was basically putting tariffs on countries based on their bilateral deficit with the U.S. And in doing so, what you're doing is effectively creating a situation where you're targeting those things that Americans buy, regardless of the cause of that. You're creating an opportunity for large disruptions and I think significant retaliation as well. And perhaps as important as anything, we think what's going on here, not just with trade policy, but with other policies as well, is we're seeing an administration that is shifting the sentiment of the business sector away from its view, which I think was in place at the beginning of the year, that this administration cared about near-term growth, cared about the business sector. And that momentum shift in terms of sentiment is most reflected in the markets this week.
As long as I have your expertise, let me ask you to explain something for our viewers, because you said that the tariffs were assessed in large part based on the trade deficit the United States had in the country. So, for instance, if the United States buys $100 million a year of goods from Wakanda, and Wakanda only buys $5 million from the United States, that's a huge trade deficit. But it's not necessarily because of unfair trade practices. It might just be that Wakanda has a fraction of a population compared to the United States, right?
There's a whole set of things that determine what trade balances are. I mean, I think, let me give you a very simple example. Let's say you live in a village, and I'm a baker, you're a grocer, there's a plumber, so on and so forth. You may want to spend only what you earn, but that doesn't mean you're going to spend with the baker and the grocer and so on, so that you have a balance of what their spending in the view is. Those things just don't have any real logic behind them in a macroeconomic sense. And I think that's true in terms of the design of this tariff plan.
President Trump posted on Truth Social today, great job numbers, far better than expected. It's already working. Hang tough. We can't lose. Just to be clear, those job numbers are from March before Liberation Day. So is it an accurate assessment to say it's already working?
He said it's working.
No, not at all. I would say that there is a reflection of the job numbers of an economy that turned into the new year with expectations relatively optimistic that while the Trump administration would do some, fairly large changes in policy, that it would still be committed to supporting growth in the business sector. That I think is in the March numbers, and I think is being lost now as we're making our way through March and April in sentiment in financial markets.
The president also said this today, quote, "To the many investors coming into the United States and investing massive amounts of money, my policies will never change. This is a great time to get rich, richer than ever before." Is this a President Trump trying to assure people that there will be stability on your
I'm not going to go to try to kind of interpret everything the president is saying. What I do want to say is if we sustain the rest of the year, we will do damage to the U.S. and the global economy and most likely throw the U.S. into recession.
Stocks have been plunging for 2 days. I mean, plunging. More than 2,000 point loss today. How long do you expect this to be going on? How long could it go? How low could it go?
Well, I think if we are going into recession, we haven't seen the bottom of the stock market. Stock market declines can be pretty substantial. I think a question to ask is whether there'll be a cost correction in policies. I would want to emphasize here that the transmission of tariffs to the U.S. Economy and the drag comes to higher inflation. So don't expect the Fed to come in very quickly unless there's some real breakdown in credit and funding markets that's accompanying the stock market decline.
And lastly, Bruce, who is this hurting right now? Obviously, I'm not going to take a look at my 401k for quite some time. And your portfolio, I suspect, you're not eager to dive into it every day. But you and I can afford to be patient about this. Who is being hurt by this right now?
Well, I think, again, the policies were announced this week. I think what we will see over the next 2 or 3 months is U.S. inflation move above a 5% annualized pace. I think what we will see is disruptions in supply chains. I think it will become more expensive for companies to source materials. And those things together, I think, will work both to slow spending, hit the job market. And again, if we don't change course, I think throw the U.S. into recession as we go through the rest of this year.
Yeah, the worst 2 days on the stock market since COVID hit is not a small thing. Bruce Casper, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Imagine if the head coach of your favorite team set the lineup based on the advice of a superfan with no experience, questionable motivations. Sounds crazy, but it seems like that's maybe what's going on with the United States head coach, President Trump. Hearing from superfan Laura Loomer. We'll explain next.
Feeling anxious? Don't worry.
Put your feet up.
Don't panic. We can help you cope.
It's called disassociation.
It's all more fun together.
Switch to Verizon for up to $800 to pay off your phone, and you'll get iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Is that new guy?
We need to get back at our last one position.
Where are you guys?
We are all coming back.
Get radiant glowing skin in 1 week. Try Aveeno Positively Radiant with clinically proven soy. Aveeno.
Hustling plus overbooked plus bustling plus cleaning overlooked. It all adds up. With Mary Maid's professional cleaning services, you'll have one less thing to worry about. Mary Maid's. Relax. It's done.
$6 never tasted so good. IHOP's Breakfast Babes combo is now just $6. Featuring IHOP's world-famous buttermilk pancakes, crispy hickory smoked bacon, and 2 eggs cooked to order your way. All for just $6. Part of the new $6 House Babes menu.
Draymond feeding Luka. This is a game-winning play. Golden State game loses to Lakers. Dubs 123, Lakers 116. Felt like a playoff game, Doncic said. Very well could be. He also felt like his play was unacceptable. Very well could be. Just have some more about Golden State or LA to you, Tim Calshaw.
I thought it was about the Warriors, and as we continue to see, the Jimmy Butler trade is working better than a lot of us thought it might. They're 18-2 with Curry and Butler are both playing. This team is a force.
Parallel Jr.
About Golden State, this was an example of why they are the actual contender in the West and not the Lakers. You saw the scoring from Steph, you saw the defense from Draymond, especially there late in the game, and the role play by Brandon Kajemski. He's not the only person on the team that can do that.
So there it is. Both of you believe Golden State is a better contender or better built to contend than the Lakers in the postseason. Although, Tim, I'm disappointed. I thought you were going to tell us this means Dallas won the trade. Harry Lyles will get the point. We'll move on. AP Coach of the Year. Men's basketball, first tie ever. Bruce Pearl, Rick Pitino's putting this baby in half. We don't do ties here on Around the Horn. Break the tie, Harry.
Yeah, Tony, this is really difficult, except that of these coaches rocked a white suit really well this year and the other one didn't. This is absolutely Rick Pitino's award.
Tim Callister?
Not a GQ award. It's not an award for winning a really fairly good conference. It's an award for being who you are in the SEC. Bruce Pearl. He doesn't dress like Rick Pitino. I'll give you that. I don't dress like Harry. Doesn't matter.
Harry Lyles Jr., 30 seconds.
There is a TikTok trend going on right now called airport theory. The idea is basically you show up to the airport 15 to 20 minutes before your flight boards, and that, you know, most of us start wasting time getting there at a time that is reasonable. That would make you not miss your flight. This theory is terrible. This is a terrible idea. I saw a video of this guy going through Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson, and it said it took him less than 15 minutes. That is the exception, not the norm, especially if you are going through airport security without, I don't know, pre-check, clear, digital ID. So if you have seen this trend, do not try it. I know we are living in very impressionable times. Do not fall for this one trick, please.
Okay. So wait, they're telling you that you can pull this off when you get to the airport. Aaron, how early?
You need to give yourself at least an hour.
Maybe?
Hour.
All right, when do you pull?
2 hours. I like being in the airport. It's fun. Get a drink.
3 minutes.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Tony. The town of Plymouth, Connecticut is shutting down its local swingers club.
Tony Kornheiser, it's okay. I haven't been there in months. The only thing I feel bad about, Mike, is that I earned a free session. You know, you have a card, they punch the card.
Yeah.
After 10 times in there, the next one's free. And you know, I would have
Frequent
appreciated it.
Swinger Club. What is this, the 1970s? What?
Pretty much. What a great decade. 1970s. Great. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the NBA finds John Morant. The New York Giants could pick between 2 Colorado stars. And Jay Billis joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with the game that you attended last night, Wilbon, Warriors and Lakers. The Warriors won by 7. They were in control most of the game. Steph Curry led all scorers with 37. LeBron had 33. Luka Doncic shot just 6 of 17 from the floor and labeled his performance unacceptable. So, Wilbon, what did you take away from this game?
A lot of takeaways, Tony. The first one is just a really obvious one. If you get the chance to watch LeBron James and Steph Curry go at it in a 7-game series, but it's a treat. I mean, you should feel like, yes, this is an appointment. Let me sit down and enjoy this and tell everybody I know, sit down and watch these guys, 2 of the all-time greats, play each other and lead their teams. It's just fabulous, Tony. And, you know, the Luka Doncic issue for the Lakers in the game, the competition, and the Warriors winning it, Luka Doncic struggled, and it wasn't just because he missed shots. He was forced into misses. Golden State scrambling defense is really strategically smart and tough-minded and disciplined, and they executed well, and Jimmy Butler's at the center of it like we thought, and the Warriors feel different about themselves over these last few weeks as getting Jimmy Butler. They believe they can win a championship. Draymond Green wasn't just spouting off when he said that. And they went on the road last night. The Lakers gave him everything. Because the Lakers don't want to be in a play-in either. And they'd like to have Golden State and Denver play each other in the 4-5 spot. And that means winning and suppressing them. And they couldn't do it. And Doncic can say all he wants, well, I got to be better. He's right. He owned it. And that was impressive. But it wasn't just about that. The switching defense that Golden State can employ, and they're better at small ball than the Lakers, at least right now. There are a lot of takeaways, but it was thrilling to sit there and watch that competition between those two and isolated on those 2 players. Thrilling to watch, Tom.
So the Warriors won a game that they needed to win. They needed to win this game more than the Lakers needed to win it because they, could have been pushed back into a precarious situation that would have led to the play-in tournament. All right, and the Lakers didn't face anything quite that severe and dire in the moment. I don't want to talk about the playoffs because I think we spend too much time on this show in the regular season talking about the NBA playoffs. And I'm not interested in comparing who got the better of the deal with their most recent acquisitions, whether it's Jimmy Butler going over to the Warriors, Luka Doncic to the Lakers. I'm going to take the long view on that in 2 years, when Jimmy Butler is 37, will be hanging on, and Luka Doncic, because he plays in LA, is going to be the biggest star in the game. But much like you, my takeaway is very simple. How great is it to watch Steph Curry and LeBron James?
How great is it after all these years to continue to watch them, and almost always on contending teams, almost always in games that matter. LeBron James is the best 40-year-old basketball player of all time. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, and they are remarkably clutch, as we learned in the Olympics, and they are natural entertainers. So what else do you want, right?
Yeah.
What else do you want?
Tony,
That
it was
it for me.
entertaining in that way, like a continuation of those Olympics, and we saw it on Christmas Day. They do this, and they're up to the moment. It's like having a ticket to the theater. And, it's just amazing to watch it. I hope we can see it, but I don't want to see it in the first round. I don't want that to be an appetizer. That'd be amazing.
Don't talk about the playoffs, please. Let's stay in the NBA and move to John Morant, who hit a shot to win a game last night. Earlier in that game, the very first game since Morant appeared to make a gun gesture and was warned by the league, though neither fined nor suspended. In that very first game since that warning, Morant appeared to make that same gesture and has now been fined $75,000. Move on, is this a sufficient deterrent?
No, it's not a deterrent at all. It isn't. Because John Morant, and I'm going to include you, because everybody around the game in the industry now knows John Morant and his father. They're in the business of just being defiant. That's what they do. And John Morant has indicated that in interviews. John Morant, by the way, is fascinating to talk to and listen to. I mean, he's engaged in his discussions, and he's intentional about his deal. He knows, he says, he's welcoming, he's saying, bring on the Bulls, I'm the villain, I'm happy with it. And he and his dad are defiant, they're openly defiant. They defied Adam Silver, who, unlike his predecessor, who would have had him sitting in the office or facing a half-season suspension, Adam Silver doesn't want to do it. And maybe he knows he can't do it. Maybe he just doesn't have it in him to do it. It's not a deterrent. And John Morant and his dad, they called Adam Silver out and said, doesn't matter what you warn us, we're going to do this. Now, you can also take the view that pantomiming this, shooting is not that big a deal. You can take that view. It's not an actual gun. And there's a lot of this in the culture, and it's not just John Morant. There are other people involved, and they'd have to ban it league-wide. Other sports, soccer, football would have to ban it too. You can take that view, but they don't have the stomach in the NBA commissioner's office to do anything about it, and they're going to continue to defy them.
Yeah, I don't have much knowledge of these gun gestures. I don't know if there's a specific group out there that it appeals to, if there's a specific group out there that is appalled by it. I would reiterate, as you said, it was pantomime. It was not a real gun, because he's had real guns. Yeah, he had a real gun on social media, and he got suspended for what ended up as 8 games. And then he did it again a few months later, and that time he got 25 games. So we've seen him with real guns do this. Now he gets a warning on a fake gun situation and does it the very next game, which is totally deliberate. It's totally deliberate. And so he ends up being fined $75,000. I don't know that that's a deterrent, but I'm going to read you a quote from him. Everyone should hear this. I'm kind of used to it. I was pretty much a villain for 2 years now. Every little thing, if somebody can say something negative about me, it's going to be out there. So yeah, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. So how much does Adam Silver care? Because obviously his team doesn't care. They're in the business of hiring coaches, not disciplining players. How much does Adam Silver care? You're calling Silver out. I think you're right about this. I think you're right.
Not that much. Or don't issue the warning. I mean, if you decide, okay, it's not that big a deal, which is a fair interpretation. If Adam decided that, okay, but then why warn? If you say, wait a minute, this is bigger than John Morant, I'm not going to pin this to him. That's a legitimate discussion. But if you think this is a bad look and a bad thing for your league and to the detriment of your league, to just let him defy you like that, upper hand. Let's move to an intriguing NFL draft scenario. Colorado held his pro day today with quarterback Stuart Sanders and Heisman-winning two-way star Travis Hunter in the spotlight. Presuming the Titans take Cam Ward, Tony, with the first pick, and the Browns take Abdul Carter with the second pick, the Giants are going to have their choice between Sanders and Hunter at number 3. So in that scenario, which one should they pick?
Okay, the most important thing in my reasoning goes like this. Everyone on the Giants is going to be fired if they stink again next year. If they have 3 wins again next year, or they get to 4 wins next year, that's it. The GM is going to be fired, the coach is going to be fired, everyone in authority is going to be fired. So they have to make a draft that helps them this year. Now, maybe they think there's a longer runway if they draft a quarterback, but didn't they just pick up Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston? So if they're going to draft a quarterback, you would think they wouldn't play that quarterback. And if you don't play that quarterback, you're not getting help out of the first pick in the draft. I think you can make the case that Travis Hunter is a better player than Shedeur Sanders now and forever. You know, and you can say of him that he even could have more impact on the Giants this year. Maybe he could win a few games there, and it doesn't look like a quarterback is going to step right in and win those games. So if it was me, I would draft Hunter. I think it's the smarter, safer draft. I would I'd start him in DB, and I'd have a package of offensive plays every single game for him. That's what I would do.
Tony, I think I agree with you down the line, man. You got this whole situation of Dayball, Coach Dayball, and whether he's going to be there or not, whether the whole regime's going to be there, and why draft a quarterback if those guys are in the hot seat and not for long. The Bears did this.
Yeah, get a guy who can help you right now. Keep
Williams and Eberflus. You know, we've seen this. I mean, it is something that you, as an organization, you do have to consider. But Tony, I was talking to a coach I've known for a lot of years, and he's just a personnel guy. He gets it. He's got it for his whole career. Retired from coaching now, and he told me last week that Travis Hunter is the most talented, or I think he used the word best, football player he's ever seen.
Really?
And Tony, there are people who think this. There are plays, Tony. He made a play in the end zone, which I mentioned to this coach, and I pointed that play out. He knew exactly what I was talking about, where Travis Hunter dives over the line in a goal line stop situation, knocks the ball loose, causes the fumble, and recovers it with a game on the line. He makes plays that only a few people in the history of the NFL have made. And I know it's at the college level, but it does seem like it's going to convey. So I think, and I think the answer is Travis Hunter. I think it is.
So let me say that Shedeur Sanders may end up being a great player. He very well may be a great player.
Yes, he may. Yeah.
But this coaching staff won't be there if they don't get help from this draft pick right now. It won't be there. Let's take a break. Coming up, will the Gators beat Auburn for a second time tomorrow? We will ask Jay Billis.
We'll also ask him how Houston matches up with Duke.
I think it's fair to say of John Morant, does he learn anything?
No.
We've never spoken, but you've told us many things. That you love stargazing, hate parallel parking, and occasionally your right foot gets a little heavy. The Lexus ES didn't begin in the studio. It began with you.
If you feel like you're on the wrong road with your finances, Credit Karma can help you push through to a better place. With personalized guidance to improve your credit, savings, taxes, and more, so you can find your way to money. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past my homebound. None need you, none miss.
Versace, bright crystal. At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
DQ is celebrating 85 years. So we're giving you an 85-cent Blizzard treat in the DQ app, now for a limited time. Hurry and get your small Blizzard treat for just 85 cents with a $1 purchase in the DQ app. This is what joint pain looks like when you keep moving with Aleve.
Just one Aleve. 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve. Strength to last 12 hours.
Empower. So handsome.
I can't buy this.
Whoa. Your Empower investment account has grown. You earned it. So get good at it so you can be a little bad. Empower.
If you keep making that face, it's going to stay like that.
I'm trying to get my own car insurance.
USAA. Grandpa was in the military. You shared membership with your mom so she could share with you. Easy.
USAA. Check if you're eligible today.
ESPN.
Get the best certified pre-owned Hondas. Honda backed with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, a 182-point inspection, and first-year oil changes on us. Search your local Honda dealer today.
I don't really like committing to things. I'm scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Can you hear me now?
It's in our very nature to seek the excitement of the unexpected, an endless yearning to experience what lies beyond the everyday.
Tax Day just became Max Day at Yamamah Resort and Casino in San Manuel. 500 winners will share $1 million on April 15th. Be a part of the most cash payouts in history. Only at Yamamah, voted #1 casino in the country. Details at yamamah.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
The PTI investigative team has learned that the men's Final Four games will be played tomorrow in San Antonio, which is where we find our great friend, the dashing ESPN college basketball analyst, Mr. Jay Billis. We'll start with this, Jay. Tomorrow's early game is Florida and Auburn. Janai Broom says he'll be ready to go after hyperextending his elbow in the regional final. Do you have any concerns about him coming back from this injury?
I do. I think with that elbow, and he's been banged up in other areas as well. He's had an ankle throughout the year. And then Chad Baker-Mazara is dealing with a thumb issue. I don't think it's going to, he wears a little brace on it. He's going to be able to play, and he should be fine, but it's not optimum conditions for Auburn. But I think everybody says, hey, everyone's banged up. And Janai Broom has played through issues like this throughout the course of the year, but you'd rather have him 100% not having to deal with anything. But man, if he's injured, last 2 games he's had 30 rebounds, and he's averaging like 24 points a game over that stretch, and he's been right there with Cooper Flagg for Player of the Year. If he's injured, I would have liked to have been injured like that.
Of course, Janai Broom's bigger issue is going to be Florida, as you know, Jay. You know, because you told us coming into the tournament that Florida you were really impressed with in a million different ways. Do you expect a similar result to the one Florida laid on the Tigers in February?
I think it could be, Michael, but in that game, Florida didn't have Elijah Martin, their second leading scorer. So I actually did that game, and I was kind of thinking beforehand, I hope Florida can make this a good game. They wound up winning it by dribbling out the clock, so it wasn't in doubt at the end. Florida is probably the most complete team here, and they've got great guards, 4 great guards. They've got 4 really good big guys. They're going to be a handful. I think the key for Florida is going to be take care of the ball. They've shown the proclivity to turn it over from time to time, and if they turn it over, I think for both Auburn and Houston, they've got a little bit of edge coming in because the last time they played their opponent, they lost. And I think that edge tends to help in your preparation. I don't think it helps once the ball's thrown up in the game, but I think it helps as you prepare for it.
I must admit, Jay, I am more interested in the Houston-Duke game. It just seems like something that could be sort of nuclear. We've talked about more people are familiar with Duke, of course, but this Houston team, particularly defensively, seems to be one of the great teams in recent years. And I'm wondering if there's a comp for you for Houston? Either a team Duke has already played this season, or just historically, who do the Cougars remind you of, if anybody?
Well, I mean, if you go look at Duke's schedule, they remind you a little bit of Clemson, but they're much better than Clemson. They're more physical, they're more athletic, they shoot it better. These four teams we have here in this Final Four are historically four of the most efficient teams we've seen in the last 30 years, and we've got them all in 1 year. Four of the top 10 most efficient basketball teams at both ends of the floor are in this Final Four since KenPom.com started in 1997. Houston is unbelievably physical. They're a great offensive rebounding team. They can really slow Duke down, and Duke's got the #1 offense in the country, the most efficient. I think one of the issues, though, is Duke's defense is really good, too. And Duke is really long-armed, especially at the guard position. And Houston's guards are smaller, and they have low release points on their shots. L.J. Pryor, Manuel Sharp, Milos Uzan, they have these kind of low release points. And I think Duke can bother them. The issue is going to be, can Houston put up enough points? You're going to have to score 70 or more to win this game. Heck, Gonzaga put 76 on them, but Houston was able to score in the 80s on Gonzaga. I don't think this game's going to be decided up in the 80s by Houston.
So we will get you out of here on this, having heard everything you've said. Is there a way that you are leaning in the Houston-Duke game?
Hey, before the tournament, I thought Houston would be in the final. I'm going to stick with it because there's no sense, kind of flip-flopping on it. But Duke has played the best of any team in this tournament since the tournament began. And maybe part of that was, they didn't have Cooper Flagg in the ACC tournament semifinal and final. So maybe it took them at a little bit of a discount. But since the tournament started, I mean, they've been shooting over 60% in these games, and their defense has been spectacular. But, this is a week-to-week tournament. It's basically 3 4-team tournaments. Now they're the last of those 4-team tournaments. This is going to be the hardest to win. And Houston presents a challenge that few other teams present on the physical side. And Duke's going to have to handle those traps. I think you're going to see them run a lot of stuff out in the middle of the floor, so don't get pinned to the sideline and pinned to the baseline. But there's going to be a loose ball, rough and tumble. You better be strong with it type game, because this is not for wimps. This is going to be a grown man ball game.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you for
to
your
it, Jay.
proclivity. I mean, proclivity is a word you really pay attention to. You can catch more of Jay tomorrow on College Game Day, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. Let's take one last break. Still to come, we will get Wilbon's picks for the women's Final Four.
And Giannis put up some monster numbers last night against the Sixers. Monster numbers.
I'm ready for the Final Four now. I mean, I'm glad Jay said what he said. I am ready to watch these games now.
Yeah, you got to
Seems like we've waited a long
bring
time.
that Jack.
Between Molly leaving and Mom's osteoporosis, I thought life was going to slow down. Boy, was I wrong.
If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and are at high risk for fracture, Evenity can help you rapidly build new bone in just 12 months. Evenity is the only bone builder that also helps slow bone loss and is proven to significantly reduce spine fracture risk.
She said the Evenity she's taking builds new bone. Builds new bone! So yeah, we still bike, babysit, and brunch with the ladies.
Evenity can increase risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a heart problem. Tell your doctor if you have had a heart attack or stroke. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it, as serious events have occurred with Evenity. Signs include rash, hives, swelling of the face or throat, which may cause difficulty in swallowing or breathing, muscle spasms or cramps, numbness, or tingling. Tell your doctor about severe jawbone problems. If they have been reported with Evenity, report hip, groin, or thigh pain. Unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred with Evenity. Ask your doctor about building new bone with Evenity.
We're making a splash with another Twisted Tea drop. Twisted Tea fans love the smooth, refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Real fruit tea with a finest flavor of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
New Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. For $5, go classic. For $7, go lavish. For $9, discover something new. Eat Lux, go. New Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Hey, Lexus, show off the new routes.
Technology that's ready for the road ahead. The Lexus NX.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With
Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
No, I don't want to look.
Erica, used car shopping doesn't have to be scary.
Show me Carfax.
Knowing how a car's accident history impacts price means you don't have to overpay. No fear, just thoughts. Say show me at Carfax.com.
We have got to level up. The new star of the season. Book your vacation today.
There's nothing like playoff hockey. The intensity is so high, the emotions are so high, the temperature has reached the boiling point. So it's right here, folks. This is the place where Stanley Cup dreams come true.
Every day, having your way.
We've taken massive casualties. 3 minutes out! Eyes on me and only me. 1 minute out!
$6 never tasted so good. IHOP's Breakfast Babes combo is now just $6. Featuring IHOP's world-famous buttermilk pancakes, crispy hickory smoked bacon, and 2 eggs cooked to order your way. All for just $6. Part of the new $6 House Babes menu.
What does it mean to be rich? It's not just about the places you can go, but also the people who welcome you home. The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Happy time, Pete. Happy 32nd birthday, Frank Kaminsky. Kaminsky was a terrific player in Wisconsin, the National Player of the Year in 2015 when he led the Badgers to the NCAA Finals, losing to Duke after a scintillating win over Kentucky. The 7-footer was drafted 9th overall by the Charlotte Hornets. He spent 4 seasons there, averaging 10 points and 4 rebounds in 22 minutes a game. Kaminsky then played in Phoenix, in Atlanta, and in Houston in reserve roles. He then went to Europe to play and was playing for the Toronto Raptors G League team before a recent knee surgery. The fact that he stayed in basketball and played in the G League warms our hearts. Happy birthday.
I love him, Tony. His mother, his aunt, and his uncle are 3 of the greatest athletes in the history of Northwestern. And he goes to Wisconsin. It just makes me crazy. Even whatever it is now, 15, 18 years later, we didn't have Frank.
Anniversary Hideo Nomo on this day 24 years ago. Nomo threw a 3-0 no-hitter for the Red Sox against the Orioles and became the 4th pitcher ever to have no-hitters in both leagues. Nomo previously threw a 9-0 no-hitter for the Dodgers in Colorado, where nobody throws a no-hitter. Nomo joined the club with Cy Young, Jim Bunning, and Nolan Ryan. In the ensuing 24 years, only Randy Johnson has joined that club with no-hitters for Seattle and Arizona. Ryan, by the way, has the most no-hitters ever, 7, 6 in the American League for California and Texas, and 1 in Houston, which was then in the National League.
Tony, will managers and their advisors even leave pitchers in the game long enough this season for anybody to have a no-hitter? I wonder.
Hope so. Happy trails to the wake for the women's Final Four. The games tip off in Tampa tonight at 7 Eastern. First up is Texas and South Carolina. The 2 teams split a pair of conference games earlier this season before the Gamecocks waxed the Longhorns in the SEC Conference Tournament Final. Tonight's second matchup features UConn and UCLA at 9:30 Eastern. The stars to watch in that one are Paige Beckers, who scored 105 points in the last 3 games, and Lauren Betts, who's averaging 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks per game in the tournament. Tonight's winners will meet in Sunday's final game. Wilbon, who you got?
Tony, you know I'm rooting for South Carolina and UCLA. And that's just, let's be honest about it. But UConn, man, UConn with Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd, I'm worried about UCLA. Worried
All right, let's go to the big finish if we could. Giannis had 35 points, 17 rebounds, and 20 assists in a win over the Sixers. Are you impressed?
Yes, and he's playing point guard. He's out there doing that with no Dame. I still hope they get Dame back. I bet they're going to get that. Hope, fingers crossed. Two-time WNBA MVP Elena Deladon, who I know you like a lot. She retired. How do you remember her career?
She won a championship in Washington, D.C. That's how I'm going to remember it. It's the only one the Mystics have ever won, I believe. Blues beat the Penguins for their 11th straight win, and the Bruins fell to the Canadiens for their 10th straight loss. Which is the bigger deal?
Hey, wait a minute. Don't forget Winnipeg shutting out the Golden Knights in Vegas, and they're like third. Come on now. Got it right in Camden. Jose Altuve struck out 5 times in games for the first time in his career. Is that a big deal, though, Tony?
No, because he's batting .321. No, it's fine. Last one, Blackhawks and Capitals tonight. Will Ovechkin score?
2 goals. Not going to break it tonight. Really? 2 goals for OB against the Blackhawks.
That would tie it. That'll tie it. Trying to do better the next time. I'm Tony Cornell.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Have a great weekend, knuckleheads. You can get the podcast on the app or Apple Podcast. Women's Final Four special is next.
You could buy on your own. You could get a lender, get showings, get catfished, get more showings, get through all the paperwork, get an inspector. Nope, definitely not him. Yeah, Chuck will be good, right? Sure. Get into negotiations, get a stress rush, get to see a new side of your spouse, get a divorce, just kidding. And finally, with the last breath you have, get ready to close. Or you could get an agent who is a realtor with the expertise and ethical training to make home happen.
They say life's a beach, but getting to the Final Four hasn't been. Survive and advance. Less motto, more mantra. Brackets bent, hearts broken, leaving 4 teams with unfinished business, pursuing the ultimate treasure, a championship. There's a flag in the tank and blood in the water. 4 teams, 1 net to cut, in the place known as Tampa Bay. Who will add their name to the title wave? This is the NCAA Women's Final Four Special, presented by Capital One. Let out!
What does it take to leave your mark? What does it sound like to be victorious? What does it look like to be a champion? That again, to go back to back, setting the standard with resilience, finesse, and swag. We believe that we can win it all. That's what I want for our players to get to know who they are. Is it the heart, hustle, guts, confidence, whatever it takes? A whole lot of fight left.
That's tough. You gotta get through that.
What about the unstoppable, unshakable?
This has been the season in the making.
Shaped and sharpened in the shadow of excellence.
Everyone came to UCLA for this reason.
We've toughened up. We've learned a lot.
And then there's the legacy. Standing on tradition, not resting on it. Connected, consistent, committed.
We've been through so much adversity, just brought us together and made us stronger.
This is the moment. The stage is the biggest, lights the brightest, the stakes are the highest. When they answer the question, who will be the one?
UConn, where my Huskies at?
Hey, can we give some attention? The Chloe Targaryen side, the Chloe Targaryen side did it. The mother, and Chloe Targaryen side did it for me.
There's gonna be a red wedding in there.
Yes, it is. We see it. All right. I know that the fans here certainly know how their teams got here, but let's just remind you of how these four teams made their way to Tampa. And we start with South Carolina. They are back in their 5th straight Final Four, but attempting to win a title without a lottery pick to run it through. They've got the deepest bench in the nation, averaging over 40 points off the bench.
Yeah, well, no team knows Final Fours or championships better than Gino Auriemma and UConn, the all-time winningest coach in basketball. He's got a healthy squad. He's got stellar freshmen in Sarah Strong. He's got a sniper in A.B. Fight and a bona fide superstar in Paige Beckers. This might be the moment to get back to the mountaintop.
When we talk about this Texas team, they've won a national championship. It was in 1986, but the Longhorns' last Final Four was in 2003. Head coach Joni Conrad had Jamie Carey at the point. The Longhorns beat LSU, then they lost to Diana Taurasi and UConn in the Final Four. They've been here before, but it's been a long time. And UCLA won the Big Ten this year, but of course they are the newbies of the group in the Final Four for the first time in the NCAA era. Prior to that, they made 2 Final Fours in the late 70s. As you can see, that was before HDTV. But alas, huge contributions in that way. You look at these specific rosters, you guys. Combined Final Four experience for UConn and South Carolina on these rosters, they've got 35 games of experience. UCLA and Texas have none. However, there is one tie that binds them all, and they're all feeling some type of way.
They are feeling some type of way.
They feel some type of. Every team has come in with a chip on their shoulder. I mean, we walk in and Don Stanley in South Carolina, they don't feel like we've seen their best basketball. They have the closest games to get to this point. They feel like everybody's doubting them because of their bench or the inconsistencies. They have a chip on their shoulder. UConn, who's been here more than anyone, Gino Auriemma walks into our meeting. He says, how are we the betting favorites? We've never been number 1 all season. UConn has a chip on their shoulder. Everybody knows.
And speaking of the favorites, the number 1 overall seed, UCLA, they feel slept on. That's what Coach Corey Close said, which is wild. But I understand that living in Los Angeles, the time difference is a lot. But deep in the heart of Texas, they also have a chip on their shoulder. Because I was a little critical of Texas and their offense, especially the SEC tournament final. How did they respond in the first round, round 100? So they clap back.
They clap back. In fact, I'm glad that you mentioned that SEC championship because as you guys know, South Carolina, Texas, this is the 4th time they'll be facing each other this season. Let's walk you through those other 3 matchups. So it started in the first matchup, all South Carolina. They shot 51% from the field, held Texas to 28% shooting from the field. Longhorns' worst shooting performance of the season. They called it embarrassing and said they got punked. In the second game, the tables turned. It was all Texas. South Carolina didn't lead once in the game. Maddie Booker's 20 points led to Texas ending the Gamecocks' 57-game regular season conference win streak. And you mentioned it, Janae, in the SEC championship game, they faced each other again. The Gamecocks defense suffocated Texas, held them to just 45 points, matching the fewest by any team in the SEC championship game. Of course, after ending the regular season with the same record, seeding for the SEC championship game began with a coin flip, of course, went South Carolina's way. And here they meet again with a chance to play for a natty. Holly Rowe just caught up with Don Staley.
Sometimes defending your national championship is the wrong way to go about saying that. What do you tell this group? Because they are experienced in this moment, but they've got to do it all over again.
Yeah, that's a long way from winning a championship. We don't even talk about defending national champions. We just talk about what's presently in front of us, and it's Texas. And Texas really is the only team that matters to us in this moment, and we have to do our job to make it to another day.
It's unique to play a team for a 4th time in one season. How can that help you? How can that hurt you?
Well, I mean, it can help because it's familiarity. You know them, they know you. You're then trying to outfox each other and who can come up with a better scheme. And then you look at the games they beat you, and you look at the games you've had some success. I don't think it's hard when it's this level. When you're playing for an opportunity to go to the national championship game, it's really nameless and faceless opponents. It's about production and how you can put your habits out on the floor better than the opposition.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Ali.
Of course, you talk about nameless and faceless. That doesn't exactly describe Texas's star, Maddie Booker, and she's but she's not the lone star to do big things in that jersey and with that number.
You're absolutely correct. Look, the mid-range is a lost art, but Madison Booker has made it a masterpiece. She's made 115 mid-range shots, the most in D1. You might be familiar with the look, even though it's a different Hilda player. She reminds us all of Kevin Durant, someone that has really helped guide her career. KD, second most mid-range makes in the NBA over the last 10 years. You see how he gets to his spot? Guess what? Maddie Booker does the exact same thing. In our conversation, she also gave up to Carmelo Anthony for that jab step you see right there. No one can stop her when she gets to the place that she loves. We call those kill spots. The mid-range, but more importantly, the elbow. But of course, when we think of Kevin Durant, he's great in the open floor. And if you think about last year, she ran the point with Rory Hartman out, so she's prepared to throw passes on time and on target. But last but not least, this is pro-level skill right here from Madison Booker. You can see Kane can do this. A guy that was amazing, 35 in burnt orange, knocking it down. This right here is why she's next level. She gets the pin down. I won't be surprised if we see this today. Come off screen, cool, calm, collected. What she has been able to do, y'all, only as a sophomore, is truly remarkable.
Think about the players that Madison Booker loved, right? You said Kevin Durant, you said Carmelo Anthony. She talked to us about Maya Moore. The mid-range, people don't understand how difficult it is to stop somebody in the mid-range because they put the ball on the floor, they could go for a layup, so you start leaning that way, and then they stop on a dime and they explode straight up. It's so hard to guard Madison Booker because she's so good at that shot. 53% of her buckets come from the mid-range.
Yeah, and what I love about her, she showed us that shot. What separates her being 6'1" and having tremendous elevation. That's why I think she will bounce back from previous performances versus the Gamecocks.
Okay, so it's hard to defend, but they're not undefeated, so people have defended it well. What do you have to do? Well, listen, it's hard to defend one-on-one. But the thing is, when somebody is that talented, you have to show multiple bodies to that player, and that is exactly Madison Booker. That's what South Carolina did in the SEC championship game. Watch Bree Hall stay connected to Madison Booker as she moves down the court. She's going to front there so Madison Booker can't get the ball on the block. Then as she comes off this stagger scheme, Bree Hall is going to go into a denial so that Madison Booker can't even get the ball. You know what that is? Get somebody else to do it. Anybody but Madison Booker. Rory Hartman, you want a mid-range shot? That is fine as long as it is not Madison Booker. Now watch this. Bree Hall, as Rory Hartman goes off this ball screen, Bree Hall should help, but because it's Madison Booker in the corner, Bree Hall has no help responsibility. So when Taylor Jones rolls to the basket, Taylor Jones is open, but it doesn't matter as long as it's not Madison Booker. If Madison Booker isn't taking the shot, we are fine. We being South Carolina, that's how they feel. 3 players on Madison Booker. It leaves a mismatch. You got 3-on-2 on the backside. As long as Madison Booker doesn't take the shot, it's okay. Shea Holly, you take the shot. It's wide open. South Carolina does not care. If it's not Madison Booker, that's fine. They want to try and get someone else to beat them. I was going to say, they've done really well with it. Maddie Booker against everyone not named South Carolina shoots 49%. Specifically against South Carolina, shoots 26%, is 14 for 54 from the field. Well, think about this. In game 1, Madison Booker had 7 points. Game 3, she had 10 points. Texas lost those games. In game 2, how many points did Madison Booker have? She had 20 points. Her scoring production is so pivotal for this Texas team offensively.
I want to view, though, on pivotal scoring production. Rory Hartman has to have a day. And I love her story. Coming back from injury and also being the inspiration for her teammates. She's going to have to take and make great shots. She was 6 for 18 in the last game versus TCU. She had 13 points. You might look and say, all right, Rory, that's 18 shots. That's a lot. But it was the timely nature of her makes.
Yes.
And she'll have to do that once again.
And she's often the player that people go help off of to give attention to Madison Booker. I thought Rory Hartman was so good in that TCU game because of the timeliness, but you know who else has to be great? The bigs. The bigs on the inside, because what happened in game 1, they missed layups. They missed bunnies at the rim. Dick Shaver talked to us about that. He said, how many layups did we miss in game 1? They have to complete those layups on the paint.
They're coming in confident. We had the kind of old Baker game.
We sure did.
Big woman touchdown.
Yeah, we did.
So I feel like the post will have to step up as well.
Kyle Oldacre said after that play, her Instagram numbers like doubled. People were like, she is be like us sometimes. We've got much more on that matchup, but also coming up, we're going to dig into our second matchup of the night as well. UConn has Paige Beckers playing arguably the best basketball of her illustrious career. But UCLA counters with the most dominant post player in the country. Advantage who? And we'll dig into what South Carolina's offense must do to contend with a stout Texas defense in the All-SEC Series showdown. It's the Final Four from Tampa. We're full steam ahead, y'all.
To bring the national championship to this team with so incredibly skilled offensively. It's national championship or bust.
I can't think about anything else but just
presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
At Choice Hotels like this quality here, you get more for your money so you can maximize any vacation and get more of that family time. Can you see that? Maximized. Check in more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. Get 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of select new 2025 Sportage and 2025 Sorrento models.
So what's retirement look like for Sue Bird?
Relaxing hobbies. Enjoying nature.
What? I'm not gonna do that.
That's freaking me out.
You're allergic, so life insurance.
Staying active.
Oh no. Accident insurance.
It's a lot, so I need my savings to last.
And annuities. Let's plan. Symetra Life Insurance Company. Your teammate for whatever lies ahead.
How do you feel about skydiving?
TurboTax Free Edition. 37% of farmers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/video.
I can file for free.
Now this is taxless. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition.
The DQ Freezer is opening again for our 85th birthday to bring back our most wished for blizzard flavor. It's the Confetti Cake Blizzard Treat, filled with confetti cake pieces and confetti frosting. Don't be late to the party. Grab yours before the DQ Freezer closes.
Oh, these Katie's are fire.
Katie, you work here?
Well, kid. Take notes.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
This is the beginning of the end.
Amen.
The world is broken, and I am being called to heal it.
Where is she? Where is Jules Osborne? You have to show up, but you have to fight.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Final Four Special presented by Capital One.
I've had the time of my life here. The support here is second to none.
Baby, don't tell me.
It's been everything I dreamt of as a kid, wanting to play at UConn.
The page is locked in. There's nothing you can do to stop her.
Just a small town kid with really big dreams.
Go ahead.
The greatest to ever play the game. What you envision, what you want to be.
She knows who she is. She knows that she's built for this. She just has a flair for the moment.
Not done yet. It's national championship or bust.
Wow, a little misty-eyed. Paige Beckford's career has come full circle. Back in the Final Four in her final season. In 2021, she was the first freshman to win Naismith Player of the Year. Then, of course, in 2022, she tears her ACL, sidelined for the entire 2022-23 season. But she returned the next season and led UConn back to the Final Four after they missed it the season before. And this year, on senior night in Gamble Arena after defeating Marquette, she was inducted in the Huskies of Honor. 4 weeks after that, she dropped a 40-piece in the Sweet 16 against Oklahoma, making her the first UConn player with 40 points in a tournament game. And 2 days after that, leads her team to an Elite Eight win over USC en route to her 4th Final Four appearance. And another metric you can add there, she's #1 in Riz.
Riz God.
The metric of Riz. But, Drea, there's the intangibles that you're noticing that are standing out to you right now from Paige.
Well, as I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm like, do you know how hard it is to become the first of anything at UConn with the legends that they have? But yes, it is the intangibles
needs it the most.
She never shies away from it. And when you talk about meeting the moment, and when I talk about mindset, for me, it's the way she's scoring now unexpectedly. She has the ball, and you're not sure if she's going to shoot or if she's going to pass. It doesn't matter. And she just goes right into her shot. Her level of confidence. If we take a look at her shot chart, these are her makes in the tournament. It's everywhere. We have two superstars in our late game, right? Lauren Betts and Paige Beckers. Look where Paige is scoring in the tournament. She has been lights out. 59% from the field at 29 points per game is unbelievable. She rises to the moment, meets the occasion every time.
But I've said it all year long, styles make fights, and this matchup is honestly, Dre, the immovable object versus the unstoppable force. Look at Lauren Betts' makes in the tournament. She is automatic in the paint, shooting 73% from the field, scoring 23 in the tournament.
It's a little bit stuck right now, but it's not going to be a bunch of blue there.
Basically, a lot of blue in the center, around the rim. She is 6'7". She's an All-American. She's also most improved, going from 5 points to 14 to 20. And one thing that my Hall of Fame coach, Tara Vanderbeek, used to always say, you can't teach size. You can't teach hard. That's Lauren Betts in a nutshell.
Yeah. She scored 92 points in the tournament, 82 of them in the paint.
Yeah,
how do you defend that?
See, you can't stop Lauren Betts, but your goal is to contain, or your goal is to get her in foul trouble. But what I love is you have to force her to pass the ball out, and you have to pray. Talk about those shots. You got to apply some prayer defense on the guard, because she's going to attract a double team, a triple team. You want to, most important, and this is hard to say, easier said than done, but force her out. She gets so deep in the paint. Once she catches it there, you heard her earlier this week, she said, look, I better make that shot because I did my work early to defend the ball, and she finishes at an unreal rate.
And that's the thing, you talk about you can't teach height, but Lauren Betts is so much more than her height now. She's so physical, she's so dominant, she just plays with this mindset like she cannot be stopped. I mean, we were watching her in that game against Mississippi State, low post steal after low post steal after low post steal. She was exhausted and kept going. For UConn, being as physical with her as possible without fouling is going to be the hard part, but they've got to be physical with Lauren Betts.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking Lauren Betts, is she the best passing big in the game? But she's going up against Sarah Strong, who can literally do anything. And Sarah Strong did a great job on Kiki area Finn last game, so they feel like they can come in confidently to try to slow her down.
This is the hard part about this matchup. What's more difficult to stop? Paige Beckers with the ball in her hands at all times, who can create all over, or Lauren Betts, who once she is in her spot, she cannot be stopped. I'm glad you said that. Don't answer that, because you're going to answer that later in the show. And of course, on our between these matchups, we're going to get into the other role players on both of these squads as well. Those are the headliners, but there's a lot more to them. Back to the game. That's about 46 minutes from now. We are counting down the tip-off, brought to you by Dairy Queen. Malaysia Fulwale, such a boon off the bench. She told us it's amazing when she's doing the right things. She feels unstoppable. Holly Rowe has much more. She just caught up with Vic Schaefer.
Coach Schaefer, you have been in this position before many times as a head coach, but this group has not been to this stage before. How are you helping them prepare to be the best versions of themselves tonight?
Well, again, you got to do what you've done all year long. Just be consistent, do your job. And we talk about that all the time. Just do your job. Nothing more, nothing less. It's been really good, whatever your job's been all year. When we do it together as a cohesive unit, we've been pretty good. So just want them to do that, nothing more, nothing less.
This is so unique because we have a blueprint. You've played them 3 times already. In the wins, Madison Booker has been exceptional. What does she have to be tonight for you?
It's got to be Maddie. She's so much of what we do. And so we've got to do a good job, though, helping her get to her spots and get her looks that she needs. Rory's got to run our team and get her the ball when she needs it. But, our team is, we've got to do a good job tonight. We've got to set good screens and do our job to help her get to her spots.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, praise the Lord when it wants.
Coming up on the show, it was all a dream until Biggs and Small started cooking in tandem. We'll show you how South Carolina's guard post connection is key to a title run. As the Final Four special continues.
Something's got me feeling like I could be a and I might be. I'm gonna light it up, nothing's gonna stop it. If I say this is what I want.
Today is the beginning of something big. A change in how you manage your weight,
thicker, fuller hair, and control over your anxiety and depression. It starts with small steps. A tap at forhers.com, a new part of your routine, a little moment for you. Coming together to make big changes. Through Hers, you can get access to personalized treatment plans for weight loss, hair loss, anxiety, and more. Connect with a licensed medical provider today. Get started at forhers.com.
Release the hounds.
Healthy monkey baby.
Groceries are here.
Thanks, babe. Get them milk?
Meet Coach Ivy, the very definition of a player's coach. Coach Ivy takes care of the talent on her team the same way you take care of the talent on yours. Let our expertise round out yours.
At choice hotels like this Comfort Hotel, you get more for your money so you can maximize any vacation, like starting game day with a free hot breakfast. I got waffles, how about you? Waffles! Check in more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Yeah, the NBA playoffs are here, and it's about to be ridiculous. This isn't about who's next. This is about who's now. This time is different.
The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes. The NCAA programs deliver $4 billion in scholarships every year. Those D1 scholarships are now guaranteed. Health and well-being services are mandatory. Student athletes get tutoring as well as financial literacy coaching because almost everyone is going pro in something other than sports. The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes.
Get radiant glowing skin in 1 week. Try Aveeno Positively Radiant with clinically proven soy. Aveeno.
I don't really like committing to things. I'm scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Can you hear me now?
It's in our very nature to seek the excitement of the unexpected, an endless yearning to experience what lies beyond the everyday.
Tax Day just became Max Day at Yamamah Resort and Casino in San Manuel. 500 winners will share $1 million on April 15th. Be a part of the most cash payouts in history. Only at Yamamah, voted #1 casino in the country. Details at yamamah.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
I mean, we're really excited about this. The Career Full Court Press Season 2, Sunday, May 3rd, ESPN Plus. I'm pretty sure maybe Drea, Janae, and myself might make an appearance. It's a 4-part docuseries, takes an unparalleled behind-the-scenes look into the lives of Hannah Hidalgo, Flau'jae Johnson, and Kiki Iria Fenn.
Texas interview 2, take 1. Me and Madison playing together. I think we're about 45 wins and only 3 losses.
They have great chemistry together. They find each other.
She's taking care of her partner in crime. I want everybody to know that. Bring homies to that girl. Oh, no, look to Booker from Rory Harmon.
I'm just glad to be someone she can look up to, but also she's someone I can look up to.
Can we show you what foreshadowing looks like? So Texas entered the Season 4 in the preseason poll. South Carolina, UConn, and UCLA were also top 5 teams. This year's Final Four will be the 5th in the NCAA tournament history, where all 4 teams entered the season in the top 5. But before the first game of the night, here's Ryan Rugo and Rebecca Loda.
All right, Al, thank you very much. Rebecca, we know that at times Texas can struggle to score, but this is a Longhorn team that has one of the best offensive forces in the country in sophomore Madison Booker.
To win a national championship, you simply need a player who can go get a bucket on the offensive end, and that's what Madison Booker has been for Texas since she got there. She's averaging 16.5 points a game. She assists to her teammates. She is so good, Ryan, getting to her mid-range shot. elevating over defenders. She's the type of player, even when multiple defenders come, can find her shot. But against South Carolina, this is a Texas team that has struggled. You see in their 3 matchups this season, under 54 points a game. The biggest problem for them has been outside the arc, only 2 of 17 in those 3 games.
And Madison Booker has also struggled in those games. For more on that, here's Holly Rowe.
Well, there's an old saying, the eyes of Texas are upon you, but when Madison Booker plays South Carolina, all of those eyes on the Gamecocks are on her. She has had a tough time playing against South Carolina this season. She's been phenomenal all year, but in 3 games against the Gamecocks, shot just 26% from the field. All other games, 49%. Bree Hall is a huge reason why. Bree Hall has hounded her and been terrific, using her length and athleticism. And Bree likes to set a little goal before every game she plays. Getting inside of her mind, what will I allow for my opponent tonight? Some games it's 7, 8 points. I just asked her right before they went into the locker room. She said, I don't have a number in my head for tonight. I just want to win. But just know, everywhere Madison goes, Bree Hall will be right next to her. Now, for more on the coach's perspective, let's check in with Carolyn Peck.
Hey, Holly, I think back to when we got here with Purdue to that semifinal game. And I can remember this felt like the longest day of my life. I got up in the morning, our team had breakfast, we came to the arena for shoot around. Then you go back to the arena, you have your pregame meal, the players go take a nap. You as a coach, you go through your mind, you play the game, you think about the adjustments you need to make. I can remember leaving that hotel room and getting on the bus, driving back to the arena, and the last player getting off of that bus, and then thinking, we are 1 game away from playing for the national championship, and we went out and we did it. I think this is on the mind of these 2 coaches tonight.
Thank you, CP. You gotta wonder too if what's also on the mind of Vic Schaefer is having to go up against Don Staley. It'll be the 20th time. In the regular season, Staley's won 8 of the 12, and in the 7 postseason meetings, Staley's won all 7, including the 2017 title game when Vic was with Mississippi State, and both in the NCAA tournament were decided by double digits. But specifically when you look at South Carolina and their team, and they know very well who they are. They don't let them hold them down. They reach for the stars. Or, in their case, the bench. They do go for the bench. And when we talk about the South Carolina team, there are a couple players that we have to highlight, right? A little Biggie Smalls moment, because there's a guard and there's a post player. You already know who I'm going to say, and it is the guard. When we talk about the bench, it's my Laisha Wiley. Now, she's excellent to have her with the handle. Oh, watch how she goes behind the back, completely shifts the defender, almost 3 feet between her and the defender, and then she stops on a dime and elevates the defender. Doesn't even have time. Alicia Como is very athletic. She cannot contest that shot. She is also electric in the full court. Watch my Laisha Wiley get to the other side of the basket with just 2 dribbles, and then the physicality into the defender to get the layup. Her offense has to come tonight.
Even my Laisha says that when the going gets tough, you need someone to lean on, and that for them, the Gamecocks, is Chloe Kitts. She's fearless with her shot. Look at the time and score. Early in the first quarter, she knocks down the 3, but that unleashes her game. So she knocked down the 3. Now you have to run at her. What does she do? Makes an attack towards the rim. But what I love is how she is also fearless from the free throw line. That was a free throw that sealed the deal. The emotion from the fans was beautiful. The Gamecocks, they have options. They have the luxury of riches. They have a big 3 off the bench. And Joyce Edwards, Tessa, and also, if you think about my Laisha, what she adds as a spark plug. But the starters, you heard Dawn say, her starters are the ones that she trusts. Bring that home at times. So they can mix and match.
They have the luxury of that, but Texas has the luxury, Trey, of one of the best defenses in the country. Yeah. And they talked about the idea that they prepared for this in November when they literally were on the track.
Yeah, I mean, this Texas team, I don't know if there's a better conditioned team than the Texas Longhorns. Now, South Carolina is probably the closest team to being in Texas shape. When they talk about going out on the track, running 100s, 200s, 300s, 400s miles, they have to dress the same. It's the discipline of this Texas team that sets them apart. The defense they play, discipline is the word that comes to mind because they play so hard and so consistently on that end.
Yeah, Texas is built different. You're seeing the track workout. That's where it starts with their season. They run 6 miles. It doesn't matter if you're a guard or a big, you must fit it. And like Drea said, perfectly uniform. But now that track starting, the season ends up becoming a track meet for their opponents. Yeah. If you watch what they did to TCU, they applied the pressure that last quarter. Rory Harmon sets the tone, guarding Haley Van Lith, able to make her teammates feel like they can deny. We talked about Kyla Oldbaker.
want to pinpoint Rory Harmon because there is something to be said as setting the tone defensively. And one thing that I love what Dick Schaefer said is the players seeing Rory at the top playing so hard, it makes everyone else want to play so hard. And then he said that this Texas team has the mindset, no one wants to be the weakest link defensively. That's why we see the fives going up and denying full court and getting a tip and going to shoot a layup. It's everyone's commitment to playing hard for each other. They're going to need that against the Gamecocks.
I love how both coaches describe what this could potentially be: a bloodbath, a rock fight,
First division.
be a big deal. Well, certainly it has been, and you see the teams are taking the court right now. Hits all the noise behind us, but it's been a crazy journey on the Final Four road trip. And I don't know about you guys, but when I'm road tripping, I feel like I need some snacks, which is why we have a couple of snacks in the building. Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, brought to you by Capital One. Hey, ladies. Hey. You gonna intro us like that?
Hey, what kind of snack am I?
It's giving like cheddar and sour cream chips.
Something very filling.
Yeah.
Very filling.
Those are good. That's a lot of food in my room.
Here they go.
How you guys doing? Tell us what's coming up on the show.
We're doing great. We have great guests. We obviously have great games. So we're excited for those. Listen, we're UConn fans. It's hard to turn that off. For game one, we're ready.
I'm in South Carolina right now, Sue. I'm making my pick right now.
We need to raise a question.
Yeah,
Let's
you
go.
guys,
I'm going to tee you up.
No, you guys tiptoe and never want to answer. South Carolina won the first game. They're made for these moments. The Final Four is about grit, grind, and just getting the job done. And South Carolina does that better than anyone else. That's my pick.
We tiptoe. Why are we catching
How do we get this straight?
We don't give up, get compliments, and then we start catching.
Yeah, I called you a snack. D called y'all both snacks. That's my flirting.
Yeah.
Snack.
And didn't have sour cream in it.
I was gonna say she's more like a Sour Patch Kid. Diana's first, sour, then she's sweet.
She's sour.
You like that one?
Wait, Sue, you're not gonna get out. You're not gonna get out of. You talk about tiptoeing. You're not gonna get out of making a pick. Who you got in this first one?
Definitely not. Well, I obviously have to go opposite her. And listen, ladies, I didn't wear the bolo for nothing. We're going Texas.
Well played.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
well played.
Madison
Booker, 20 points plus. I want to see it. We love it. A reminder: you're going to see the Bird and Taurasi show, ESPN2 tonight, 7 and 9. They'll take a brief little break in between games, and we'll be simulcast. And then, of course, on Sunday you'll see them at 3 o'clock as well. Ladies, we've already heard what's in the Yetis, and we're very excited to see
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Pace yourself.
It's waiting for you afterwards.
We love that for you. We love that. Thank you. All right, ladies, see you soon. Coming up, when it comes to the Final Four, what wins out, experience or vibes? We're going to end the show with a vibe check. And despite what D says, we will make picks, and based on our history, that could be real telling on tonight's results when we're joined by the logo, the Hall of Famer, the great Lisa Leslie, coming up.
I don't know what defines dynasty, but I think we've done what no other team has done. My team is very much prepared and very poised to go back to back. People don't think we can do it again. It's just like gets us more. But at the same time, we just got to stay in the moment.
The NCAA Women's Championship Special is brought to you by the Capital One Cup. Capital One annually awards $100,000 in scholarship money and the Capital One Cup trophy to the best NCAA Division I men's and women's athletic programs.
Choice Privileges makes it easy to earn points and maximize any vacation. You can earn reward nights fast and redeem at over 7,400 hotels. Maximized! Check in more. Join Choice Privileges at choicehotels.com.
So what's retirement look like for Sue Bird?
Relaxing hobbies. Enjoying nature. What? I'm not going to do that. That's freaking me out.
You're allergic, so life insurance.
Staying active.
Oh no! Accident insurance.
It's a lot, so I need my savings to last.
And annuities. Let's plan. So Metro Life Insurance Company, your teammate for whatever lies ahead.
How do you feel about skydiving?
Told you you the best spot.
The all-new Nissan Armada, starting at $57,520.
episode, Cream on the Right, we crushed the whole series.
Yes! Oh, that was really good.
Oreo, stay playful.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
Brain Balance parents know better. Find out how Brain Balance turns your child's breakdowns into breakthroughs.
Dreaming of getting to the big game?
I wanted to go since I was a kid.
Try Priceline, get a last minute flight here. Travel safe, man. Ciao. Priceline.
Mountains of flavor, those crispy peaks, 12 flavors so bold, your whole life is complete. Dipped in the lake, man, that ranch is deep. New crispy tenders, bring the flavor, Wingstop.
The SoCal Honda dealers were so helpful finding me a reliable way to show up for my family. I take